friends come and visit our studio. Catch them all in MuseTalks.
Welcome back to MuseTalks. Today we have another interesting individual. Here in the studio we have Nusaibah Rahim, who's the creative director of Poetry in Motion.
Hello.
Thank you, Iba, for coming.
Oh, thank you for having
Welcome
me.
to MuseTalks.
Thank you.
Color so bright.
Yes,
Yeah, bright and cheery.
just to feel confident for this.
That's great. Just a bit of a background. She has produced a number of TV series that won many awards for Surya. Iba, can you take us through your journey? What made you decide to embark on this?
Honestly, this whole journey was a bit unplanned because I wasn't supposed to be in this industry. I was supposed to be furthering my studies in accounting, economics, more to the
Right.
finance sector because that was my background in school, in commerce. So while waiting for my A-level results, my late brother asked if I wanted to be an assistant producer because his friend is working in this company, looking for one. So I have no idea what that job scope entails. So I said, okay, since nothing to do, might as well. I just went for the interview and I got it. And that kind of opened my eyes to the whole behind the scenes of how media production is. And I enjoyed my stint as assistant producer just during that few months. And then I had to break the news to my parents that I do not want to pursue studies in finance, but media industry instead. So thankfully they agreed, and I went to further my studies in media broadcast, TV. So when I came back, I joined back the same company that took me in. And from there I started as a junior producer and then becoming a producer, then directed some info ads. So, and that's where I met my current business partner, Din. So because we had a good relationship there over the years, so we decided to start our own company, Poetry in Motion.
Oh, wow.
Then, so now 10 years, this year will be our 10th year
Oh,
in
wow,
Poetry in Motion.
congratulations, Iba.
Thank
You started out doing principles of accounting, economics,
Yeah.
basics of economics,
Yes.
demand supply curves.
Oh my
I always
goodness.
get it wrong, right? The basic, the left and the right.
Yes, there's a demand and supply.
Is it like something that you don't enjoy from that industry, or something that you enjoy from the producing side that pulls you into it?
I think it's the adrenaline from in this media industry. I think for finance, it's just different. It's all like textbook and memorizing formulas and stuff. So I
Right.
thought since secondary, I had that foundation, myself hold it through all the way to my career. But since I found something else, I think this is the passion that I've been looking for. I didn't have passion in the other side. So
What was your first project that you were on when you started as an assistant producer? Do you remember?
yes, it was in 2000. It's called Zuriat. So it was a parenting series, and the host was Norish Karman. It was an exciting experience.
Yeah,
lah.
of course,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
What about it that really made you
Yeah.
want to stick to this industry? I mean, it's not an easy decision, isn't it? You've been
Because-
studying, you've been putting a lot of time in your, thinking about your future in finance,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, part-time work, and then you decide to switch.
I think it was more because of the guidance that my late boss gave me during that. Because given any inexperienced assistant producers on set, what I had to go through would easily make me give up.
Alright.
Because what I saw on set, how I was treated by the talent and everything. So it was truly new and it was a different and challenging environment. But because it was something that my late boss actually told me, you know what, this is how it is. You need to overcome. And because I was young and naive, I wouldn't know, right?
Exactly, because you don't have the background too, right?
Yeah, that's the reality. So because of her guidance and advice, so each day on set, I just got better in handling like my emotions, handling the talents. So by the time we wrapped the whole project, that was like a feeling of satisfaction that, wow, I never knew I had that. And I was just 18 at that time.
How many
So
months
Oh,
was
wow.
that? 18 years old.
Yeah.
How many months was the whole production?
About 4 months. Then that's when I also got my result by the time. And then that's also when I had to break the news to my parents.
Decision time, dang.
I know.
Well, it must be, quite an enriching journey during that 4 months that you actually, were brave enough to just tell your parents, okay, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, I mean,
How did they take it? I mean, you mentioned just now they were all positive.
they were shocked initially, thinking that it was just, just to pass my time. But My late dad, he was very supportive. So he had to kind of like persuade my mom to agree into changing my whole journey. So
Are they aware of the industry? Are they like from the industry or
no, they're not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, like luckily for me, they're very supportive lah. So then so when I went abroad, I had like internship with BBC,
Right.
and then with a post house
Yeah.
there. So I came back and I told them, yeah, like that's it, confirm. I really like it. After everything, after the 4 years and money spent, then confirm.
Perhaps because you were in a very good, landscape. Like you were interning at BBC, right? So there were more opportunities and exposure in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, it was BBC World Service, so I was attached to the Indonesian side. Maybe because of my bahasa that I
right,
can
right,
actually use with them as well. So, yeah, I get to see like for them down there, they're like a family. So I like that kind of environment. I think it's because it's this Asian culture thing that we are always based up in this family-oriented environment. So with them, that's how they treated me, and I liked my few months there. And it wasn't much of production stuff, like hands-on, that I get to do with them. It was more of like website, digital content also. back
Oh,
in
they
those
already
days.
started back then.
Yeah, like because of internet. So they were doing their BBC Indonesia World Service there. So
Fantastic. Okay.
Is there always help that you have connections and network?
Yes.
Maybe not necessarily in this industry, or especially so in this industry. When you
Yes.
started out, right? Because like you said, you came back straight away, get a job. I came back, have to wait for about 3 years before I get something that I want to do in the media, right? Because I know nobody in the industry.
Definitely. Even till today, I mean, networking is very important. That's the thing that I always want to give advice to the youngsters out there. Always network, because nowadays, youngsters are always on their phone, like
Right.
not talking to
Humans.
So no, you have to interact. You have to know more. So
Yeah.
that's how you tend to collaborate for projects,
Correct.
and then that will elevate your career some
Yes.
point in time.
In that sense, do you prefer to meet in person or use the social media?
Yes, I'm very old school. I prefer to meet in person. I still have my diary to write things and notes and
I think
stuff.
writing is
so
very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only once in a while I'll use my tablet just to look more professional on set. But yeah.
More like, you're on track.
I still have my calendar planner, like open up and write my day-to-day schedule.
That's rare, nobody has that anymore.
Well, Popular still sells those, so
Yeah. I mean,
I'm one of the buyers.
I still do that too.
Is it a woman thing? Because my wife also, every year she will look for a big calendar, put it on the wall, and then she'll insist the kids, hey, when's your test? When's your that? When's your camp? Like,
I don't think so. I mean,
you say you say you bought it. You
no,
yourself
not
say
the
I
big
don't
calendar
agree.
lah, but for my own. Yeah, okay, I don't install that to my children. So, a bit too late to start now.
Well, I do up timetable for Canva, from Canva for my kids.
Okay.
So they were like, what are these? Like, and they're only
So how
like
do
5 and 7.
Right. How do they view it on the tablet, or you print
No,
that
I
out?
printed it out, A3
okay,
size,
wow, okay.
laminated on the wall.
I think if you had continued with finance accounting, you would you would be fine as
I will
well.
still have those kind of traits
yeah,
in me. that I
knowing
can-
this kind
I-
of person's usually.
Yeah, I think because of initial background and skills, that kind of help.
Definitely.
Being a producer, especially.
Is it
Sound
ever
like a
like
tiger mum too, but
And also at home.
Does it help when you already won like awards for a previous work, or is that become like a burden that I got to do better, I got to do better? I mean, to get projects, I suppose it does help, doesn't it, to have winner of such and such, be producing this coming
it's
project.
all the track record.
Yeah.
yeah, keeping up with the track record is a challenge.
Yep.
Because I think people's expectation of us, especially the networks and all, so we know that we have to do better every single time. But then again, we kind of get the gist. The moment we started production, we know whether that's an award-winning program or not. So
How do you feel that?
Yeah.
If you feel that, then why do we keep on doing it? I'm not going to win everything.
no. I mean, we still want to do our best.
Right.
It's just
Yeah.
that we know that in terms of attracting international audience, so we know that this is something that definitely international audience would like, or local audience, because something that local audience might just see it as normal, the
Yeah.
international audience might see it as something. Wow, this is different from what they had seen before. I'm just gonna give one example, like our first drama for Poetry Motion. I think that's like one of the proudest program that I've done. Like, it's titled Bonda. So it was a telemovie based on a true story of a bipolar patient, and it was written, directed, and acted by Sri Wayuni. So she won an award at New York Festival. We won the Gold Award at the World Media Festival in Germany for that. So it was something that it really resonated not just with the local audience but international audience because of this mental health issue that we actually brought up in that drama. So I must say that because of that, we wanted to do better and better. But of course, I mean, mental health is just another issue altogether.
Yeah.
But other than that, we have other areas where after that
Some
we
other
did
social issues,
we did programs, drama series in Bosnia where we touch on actual events on the war in the 90s.
And the
So
effects, I suppose.
that won a silver award in Germany. And I guess like that kind of things also resonate to the international audience.
Yeah.
Although it's just a story about family and love that local audience love. But yeah.
So the $1 million question, art or commercial value, which one do you go for? I know, like, artists and stuff, I got to do this, it's nice, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then at the back of their head, they know it's not going to make money. So for you as a producer, what's the balancing like?
Wow, that's such a tricky question.
But it is,
Okay.
it is
Maybe
something
you can
that...
think from the finance perspective. Or,
Yes, definitely.
yeah.
I mean, for me, definitely we want to put art first
Yeah.
because anything that we put out on air, we want to be different from other people.
Yep.
We want to engage more audience in
Yeah.
terms of talkability and reach as well. But we have to be realistic as well in terms of commercial.
Yeah.
But like I said, there is slightly more towards art because for Hilang Kasih di Sarajevo, the one that we shot in Bosnia, we spent a lot. I must say that we didn't make much. But of course, some aside, enough to cover our expenses for at least like a few months. But other than that, we are not looking for big profits because we want to showcase what the reality is during the war. So we had like actors from Bosnia, extras from Bosnia in terms of the set
Yep.
props,
Yep.
the war vehicles, war
The whole
So-
production
props,
value.
yes, the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So because if we want to think more of commercial, then I wouldn't be able to show all that.
Yeah.
Then it will just be a passing thing and
Correct.
it's just not worth.
Yeah.
Besides money and funding and all these kind of things, pre-COVID, post-COVID, what other changes or restrictions, parameters you guys got to work within, especially when coming out with content?
I think right now the challenge is to churn more creative concepts because our media industry is so small and there are more and more production houses
Correct.
coming up. So apart from coming up with good content in a small market, we also, once we get the project, we have to work within the limitations of censorship as well.
Yeah.
Where, how to
It's
say
hard,
this?
isn't
It's
it,
like,
censorship?
our
Yeah.
creative ideas are kind of like limited. We might have big ideas, but certain things might not be suitable for a general audience out there. Because at the end of the day, if I'm doing for FTA, my local
What's FTA,
audience,
sorry?
free to air.
Okay.
So I'm bounded by the guidelines
Yeah.
that are already set. So certain things we can't show, and so in that case, in that sense, like our storyline have to change to tailor to that kind of like guidelines.
I think it's quite common for us to hear that sometimes it drives people out of the industry to being too frustrated with all these limitations and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, but how do you see it that way? Do you think that one day it will happen to you, or do you, for you it's like, producer and nothing else till I die?
I don't know. This is what I'm good at. I'm not sure what else I'm good at anymore. So at the moment, this feeling of frustrations will always be
Always
there.
be there.
Yeah.
Projects after projects, I
Correct.
do have like different
Yeah.
kinds of frustrations. It's just that it still keeps us moving. So maybe I'm already immune to that kind of frustration. But
So you already like overcome the mindset is already like set like okay, it's okay, just
It's
just
just
need to
another
get it,
challenge,
get things
sometimes
done.
we choose our battles as well when we deal with like all these limitations.
Yeah.
So like certain things we will fight for it.
Yeah.
Like we know we are allowed to fight for it, and sometimes we do get it. But certain things, you know what? No point. Let's not waste time. Move on to the next thing, because in a production there will be so many hurdles that we have to
Yeah.
go through.
Yeah.
So we pick and choose which ones that are worth fighting for. Lah.
Yeah.
The challenges, hurdles now, I'm sure it's different from your earlier days. Are they more difficult to overcome?
Yes. Yes. It was very relaxed and lenient back in those days. But now, I think because we have to be sensitive to what the public thinks, to the public's perception. So hence all these guidelines come up.
Right.
Because, I mean, last time we do have, but it's not as strict as this.
Yeah. It
So-
doesn't seem to be like, certain things when it comes to race, or it sounds
Religion,
racist, or,
the
things like that,
sensitive
right?
topics in
Yeah,
Singapore.
and these
In fact,
days
last
it's
time,
like,
even simple things, if it's not about race,
Yeah.
like body shaming.
Yeah,
last
that's
time in
right.
dramas and all, you
Yeah,
can just
yeah,
like,
correct.
Hey, gemuk. Kind of thing, right?
now no.
calling Montel.
Even titles of
Yeah.
series is like, Montel or Sigamuk,
Yes,
whatever, right? Dengan si pendek kahwin or something like that, right? But nowadays, why is it so difficult?
Why?
Like,
Why
oh
are we being
my.
so sensitive these days? I don't understand. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, do you think is a need to explore the regional market, looking at how small the Malay market is? If you're looking at Malay content, is it a must to
I think in order for us to sell our content, it would be better to have Malaysian
Yeah.
talent in it. Because based on our
I
last
see.
drama, Hilang Kasih di Sarajevo, so we had Hasnul Rahmat, we had Amelia Henderson, and then we had Rima Melati.
Yeah.
So somehow that drama received well in Malaysia and as well as
Yeah.
Indonesia. So because of this, people know them like,
Right.
oh yeah, I
Correct.
know Amelia, I know Hasnul,
Yeah.
or for Indonesia maybe I
Yeah.
know Rima.
Rima
And
as well,
Marcel
right.
was the singer for the soundtrack for that drama.
Right. Is that a 2-in-1 package you're going for?
It just so happened, and he
Just
was
so
kind
happens,
enough to say
right, Just so
yes.
happens, right?
It was like, by the way, do you want to sing?
We are meeting a singer. Who's about this story?
I mean, that's what we producers do. We try to make it work for what's best for the production.
The thing is, I'm quite a shy person, so I wouldn't want to ask like until I form good relationships. Then, by the way, do you mind?
Asking for favors like that, is it? You have to do it. You have to have a thick skin to do it. Is it necessary
Oh, well,
to cut,
yes.
is it cut costs and make your content more interesting?
Well, we do pay him quite a bit, but
okay.
still, he gave us good discount lah. I must say. But yes, I have to be thick-skinned.
Yeah.
I learned this from my ex-boss in Night 7, Georgina Chang. So she told me that if you never ask, never know.
Never know.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
So that is one motto that I took from her. Like
Never ask, never know.
never
Yeah.
ask. So even like when I'm scared, I was like, somehow that came out of my mind. I was like, never ask.
And then you
Okay, I
cannot
just
sleep.
ask. Yeah. I
Because
mean,
you keep
if it's a,
continue.
which she said, if it's a no, it's a no.
Yeah.
Then move on with life.
Correct.
If
Yeah,
not,
it's so
you'll be
simple.
wondering what if.
Yeah, that concept is so simple, right? You don't ask, you never know. But a lot of times you're like so reluctant to just open up my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you'll be hopping on it, like thinking, what would the person say yes or no? So
Yeah.
Okay, other than that, in terms of crew, do you work there with the same crew, with the same people all the
Yeah,
time?
do you like, this group of people
Yeah.
I like the most and easier to work
we
with?
do have a few favorites, so we
course.
switch them from time to time. But then again, these are crew who are really like not say popular, but they are really well liked by other production as well. So that's the thing about one of the challenges for my company is to retain talents.
Yeah.
Obviously, for crew I can't retain, but in terms of getting assistant producers. So if I know that I have ongoing projects, then it's good for me to just engage a full timer.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the moment I can't, because for all you know, like I will have one lull period and then
Yes.
another project and then
Yeah.
another lull period. So when I have a good assistant producer, it's hard to retain her. Then after that, she'll be embarking on other projects after that. So when I do get a project, then it's always a cycle for me to engage new talents
see.
again. Yeah, more often than not, then I'll get someone who might either be reliable, or someone who is just someone who I can't even rely on. So
Right.
that's the challenge. And getting good assistant producers also is another challenge for me.
Small market, Singapore.
Yeah.
Small market for both, right? The audience as well as manpower, skilled ones.
I think
Yes.
it's more challenging now. Because like the jobs are not, many. And then, so everyone will try to tie in someone for their projects. And usually when it comes to MediaCorp, Surya and all that, the timeline is about the same, right? Yeah, because we all pitch around the same
I
time.
see, I
yeah,
see, I
so that period is quite
And to
crucial.
get an experienced one is also tough lah.
Yeah.
I mean, to get newbies is good,
Yeah.
but the
Right.
thing is, assistant producer is supposed to be my assistant,
Yeah.
but end up like I'm still guiding her.
Babysitting, yeah.
Babysitting. Guiding
Yeah.
is a different thing, but if I have to constantly supervise you, then I can't get my job done. So that's
Yeah.
really hard.
The newcomers to the industry, are they like equipped with the relevant knowledge and technicalities know-how?
In terms of social media, yes.
Right.
But in terms of TV production, no. Everyone was. It's
Start
a
from
fresh, start from zero, because whatever you learn for your FYP in
right.
polys or whatever is different once you come onto an actual set.
I see.
So some of them had this work culture shock,
Shock.
Yeah.
thinking that, this was not what I learned.
Yeah.
Right.
And I say, yep. And then I say, I've not seen my family for a few days because I'm always on set, come back so late. But honey, that's the reality
Yeah,
of
exactly.
production. Yeah. So
Yep.
that's another challenge which I face as well, where they just can't keep up with the
Correct.
pressure.
They don't have the stamina to.
And then they will just go MIA on the day of shoot. Things like that I had to face. I was like, why? So there was a time that I really thought it was me. Because I felt responsible when things happen.
Yeah.
And it was my partner who snapped me out of it, saying that it's their work conduct
Correct.
and their work ethics. It's not you. Because like at the end of the day, we are here to still guide them.
Yep.
And if they can't keep up with the pressure, then this is not the line that they are supposed to be in.
I see.
Because I mean, it's not every day that it's like that.
Yeah.
That we have days that are more relaxed.
Correct.
But the moment something happens, the moment there's a challenge, they just break.
Okay.
And during our time, whatever happens, do or die, we have to
Yes,
complete it.
exactly. We have to think on the spot and find solutions quickly.
But for them, no, they just break down and then they say that, this is bad for my mental health.
Yeah.
I mean,
Again, they bring it back to the mental health thing. I think that's quite an excuse these days.
for me, I'm not dismissing all these mental health issues,
know,
but
I
I
understand.
do not
Yeah.
accept if anyone use that as an
Yes,
excuse to
yeah.
get away from things, because challenges is
Correct.
something that you have to go through.
Yeah, and especially when you know that this is what you want, you chose this career. Yeah. So I
see
think you
Salihin
have
is
to
very
be
quiet
prepared.
in this sense, seeing two women like debating about this.
I agree to a certain extent, right? But we're not going to make this into a,
It'll be another topic.
yeah. But I'm sure our older generations, when we first came into the industry, whatever industries that we decide to go in, we also pose probably some challenges to them. They're probably rolling their eyes as well as when we came in, right? So, yeah, it's true. You guys chose to come here, so suck it up, kind of thing. But we also probably had those days, right? And probably.
I don't agree.
For us, we have to. No, I'm not saying. I agree with you about the mental health thing, right?
No, that's
sorry.
why we're not dismissing it.
Yeah.
We
No. What
know,
I'm saying is that term wasn't in existence until
correct.
10, 11, 15 years ago, right?
Somebody just mentioned.
Yeah,
Yes,
and then
correct,
all of a sudden everybody using that
Yeah.
as a
and then
getaway card.
Correct. I mean, unfortunately, they use it like
They
an
abuse
excuse.
that term,
Yeah, that
which-
term. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, she said it.
Yes, they abuse that term because
Yeah.
there are people who are actually suffering from mental
True.
health.
Yeah. Correct. That is very true.
Where these youngsters, they come in, they use that. Which to me, do you have a doctor's letter to support it? Because if you have, yes, I will understand. But oh no, I can feel it. No, I can feel it. Feel what?
That is too much. Lah. Give that one backhand. Okay?
Well, I can't give any backhand also. Back in my time, yeah, I got backhands and stuff.
Right. That's how you were mold, right? Yeah.
So there's a generational gap here I see
Yeah.
between the youngsters when they come
Correct.
in as APs with so much demands and things like that. Whereas my time when I went in as AP, I was just eager to learn
Correct.
things that were like thrown at me. Things might not even be in my area, but I have to solve it.
Yeah.
I jolly well solve it.
It's like we are prepared, we show up and then we like what comes near.
What comes
you know?
near. Correct.
So even if you want to leave, you leave after the project is done.
Yeah.
But it's different now. So I don't know, maybe because people might see it because I'm a lady boss doing all this, but it's the reality. The youngsters are just different. They are built different.
Is there any gender issues in this industry? Because the previous person came in, sat in your chair as well, veteran, retired.
Oh, I know.
She did bring up some issues as such. Do you face anything that you feel like, this is because me as a lady?
Especially this industry, is
Yeah,
quite
she's been
dominant,
around for a while as well.
with men.
Somehow I did not face that. I do not know why. Either that I'm oblivious to what people are
Right.
saying, but because when I first joined, I had a lady boss myself. So that didn't cross my mind. Like I said, when I was at that age, I was young and naive. So having a lady boss too, I thought it's normal.
Right.
So she guided me through the years, and I see that people respected her a lot. Like, so, and somehow because people always associate me with her last time, so seeing that I'm my own boss, I don't really see that as an issue. So it never crossed my mind about this thing. But then again, there's always gender bias where people will be assuming, she makes this decision because of,
she's a lady.
yeah, because she's emotional,
Oh,
because she's
okay.
this and that.
Right.
Because I must admit, I do get emotional at times on set, because especially when people walk out on the set, like my APs go MIA on me. Like I said, just like just now, I felt responsible and I cried.
Correct.
But the thing is, people do not understand why I reacted that way. They did not hear my thoughts, whereas it's hard for me to express myself.
Yeah.
But then again, at the end of the day, I'm a strict boss because I just want the team to move forward.
Correct.
And so they just see whatever is in front of me, not
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
So, but
They also don't understand that you have someone to answer to.
yeah, because I'm the one handling the budget,
Yeah.
because everything is money on production.
Right.
So each day, if I, OT, that's already thousands of dollars, not just on crew, but everyone else.
So you're just being a boss, like you're not being a lady. Right.
I'm never a lady.
when you're on set.
No,
yeah.
we are just very practical. Okay, you also mentioned, you have 2 young children. How do you balance,
Work,
being
family.
work and family?
Yeah, it's very hard. So I'm just glad that I have good family support, because there are times that I don't even get to see my kids for days. Like
You're still young, right? You mentioned
yeah,
just now?
5 and 7.
5 and 7.
Yeah, this goes way back. Even when I was pregnant, I was still out shooting. So people thought that once I give birth, I'll be home most of the time, but unfortunately
Yeah,
not.
correct. Whatever maternity days that they give
Yeah,
us.
what maternity leave?
That's why.
Maternity still on laptop answering
Yeah,
feedbacks and stuff. But I think after a while, my girls understood, because I brought them to set. I made them see, this is how my work is. But of course, to them, so exciting. There's like lights, camera, and everything. And then the talents will all be playing with them.
Yeah.
So it's always fun to wish them, can we go again? Like, no, just to keep you guys quiet was really a challenge for me. But I told them that this is how it is. And after my project, I will really compensate my time with them. I'll bring them out. So that mom guilt is there.
Yeah.
It's a
Cannot
lie
run
that
away.
any talent or anyone in production who's a parent say they don't have that parent guilt in them, because even if eventually you have to compensate the time with them to know that you are always there for them. So it's tough. Okay, back to that question about the gender thing, right? Although in this industry it's not, but I remembered when I went overseas, so I have to be the front person. I say, I'm in charge of this. So let's say Middle East, one example is one
When
of
you
them.
were interning.
No. When I was doing my own production, so I was in one of the Middle Eastern countries lah. So I was introducing myself. So the guy was like, "Who's in charge?" I said, "Me." So you can see the perception and everything is like, and I got the cold shoulder from him, and he kept talking to the male crew to the point my guys were all like looking at me, and then I said, "Yeah, so here I am," as if like I'm invisible. So I do face that kind
This was
of.
after you introduced yourself as the person in
Yeah,
charge.
so I'm the producer, I'm the person in charge. Okay. So who's the boss? Me. Like, right. Then after that, when we were shooting, then he will be asking the DOP like, okay, so do you want me to go here? Do you want me to be here? Like, whereas, so I feel that not everyone is accepting this female figure as a head
Right.
of the team.
Or
So
is it he's just not comfortable
Yeah.
working with females
Correct,
since
correct.
it's not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it very common to have females in the sets in Middle East when you're working there?
I guess so. I've seen,
But not in a
I
boss
think,
position,
yeah.
I suppose. Yeah.
maybe
Taking
because someone
instructions.
taking charge. Yes, I think it's the problem of him accepting that I'm in
Don't
charge.
worry.
So
I grew up with a household of 6 women, so I know who's the real boss in a household.
At any time, was there, a time where you break down in terms of, that something happened, you cannot decide, like, okay, whether you should continue working.
relating
You just
to
want to give up to
the
the
Yeah.
project on the
Yeah.
project. Basically.
relating to the project
Yes.
itself. Yes.
A lot of times.
No, there was one particular project.
Okay.
It was the drama series. So it was the time that all those things that I shared earlier about the assistants leaving and all.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
it feels that whole project is cursed.
Oh,
Because it
dear.
started just before production until the point we wrap. There's always bound something happen with someone, and it was just chaotic for me. And I never had that for other drama series before. And alhamdulillah, even after, nothing happened. To the point after that project, right, I was like having this phobia the moment I heard news that I
Yeah. got
got another 13 ep drama.
Right.
I was so scared. I told him that I can never go through that again because that really demoralized
Yeah.
my whole feelings, and I got depressed. So because it questions me a lot about how I am as a boss or as a person, because when I work with someone, I like to have a good working relationship.
Yeah.
And the thing is, at that time, it really bothers me, and it matters a lot that people like me. I want people to like me.
Yeah, who doesn't?
So,
Yeah.
but that was also the reality that, hey, not everyone will like you, and you have to accept that.
Yep.
And Dean taught me that. You snap out of it.
Your
like,
partner.
stop making friends with everyone, because not everyone can be friends with you on set.
Right,
That was the learning point that I realized that, okay, that was my fault, because I trusted everyone. I wanted them to like me most importantly, and
Yeah, because we have this.
There's that theory where everybody's happy, they'll work better.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it has worked like that for many of my sets.
I guess
But
that's the exception.
This is so it started off as a toxic attitude right from the start. So when one left, the other one who remains will start talking.
Correct.
And then it goes on. It was a cycle throughout that 4 months of production.
Yeah, but that
Yeah, it
happens.
was
I
so
mean,
bad.
especially in our industry, you know how bitchy it is, right?
Yes,
So the thing is also about production. This is what I observe and experience. When the starting is wrong, set on the wrong foot, oh my God, it will just trickle.
Yes. It was a domino effect. Correct.
Yeah.
But does that affect the your final product when you see it?
Yeah, I got reminded here and there. Like, I'm saying, I remember this is the part that this person said this or
right.
that or left the
Okay.
set. Or I'm like,
Oh, dear.
But overall, no. But
But the
thankfully,
output is okay.
thankfully for me, for that drama, the talent and crew were at their best. Like, they didn't give me any problem. So that was what I needed. I mean, behind the scenes, so they might not know what's happening with me and my own team, internal team, because whatever is me and they just have to step up. We just have to solve, making sure that everyone is okay.
Yeah.
Because if everyone else crumbles, then that's it for us. But luckily, they did their part well.
Lucky you have Dane.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I guess the fact that our friendship goes back to 2007, so he kind of like knew how to handle me, and I knew how to handle him. I mean, but men again, so chill and relaxed. It's always the women who's emotional.
Correct. Not just that, you were like kanchong also.
Yeah. But yeah, so when after that I did my last drama with Fauzia Latif, Mencari Marina, I put all that aside, take that as a lesson, and yeah, it was a very, very smooth one, which unbelievable, even better than my Bosnian drama.
Right,
So
right.
Wow.
a fact from the part, okay, this one, right? A fact from the part that I did Umrah, right? So
Yes.
I tawaf 21 times. Every 21 times I dua for Mencari Marina. Can you imagine? That was how bad it was for me. Like,
Okay.
yeah. I was like, it was seriously a phobia,
Right.
phobia experience
It's a
for
learning
me.
lesson, though, right? It's a
Yeah.
learning lesson. Then, nice things happen after that. You really feel, this is how nice things are. Because of the bad experience you
Yeah.
had, right?
Yeah. All
But
right.
no lah, for me, I believe that to have compassion and empathy is vital. So that is something that I just want people to see at the end of the day that I have a heart.
Okay.
That's how I believe in moving forward. Because if you don't have compassion and empathy, you can't actually lead a good team. You
Yeah.
can't have a good working relationship with everyone. Because it's not all about the money at all.
All right. So Iba, what's the next project that's coming up? I heard that you are in the midst of pre-pro. Yeah.
Pre-pro for Raya Haji telemovie.
Okay.
Titled Bisikan Syahdu.
Bisikan Syahdu.
Yeah.
So it's Hari Raya
So-
Aidil Adha.
Yes.
Right?
What's the English word for shahdu? I'm trying to...
Is it solemn? Is it?
I'm trying to translate
Shahdu.
it. Solemn whispers.
Yeah, solemn whispers. Solemn whispers.
It's for Hari Raya Haji, is it?
Yeah,
Aidil
Raya Haji.
Adha.
So we are trying to work out some of the pre-pro stuff. Getting in touch with Saudi Embassy for visas and all, because we'll be filming in Jeddah and Mecca.
Okay,
Hopefully all that
pre-pro
goes
is
well.
pre-production. I'm not from the industry.
So this house is always a post-pro for us.
So, yeah, post-pro, pre-pro. Yeah.
Yeah, so we wish you all the best.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
this time around, it'll be a smoother process.
And
for
win more
you.
awards.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yeah.
inshallah.
And but there'll be 2 more series, right? That's coming up.
Yeah,
That's
I
great.
have one variety series, Zaman Sekolah. So that's the 4th season where
Yeah.
celebrities come to set with their school uniforms,
Yeah.
talking about their secondary school life,
That's fantastic.
reminiscing the good
I mean,
days.
4 seasons already. Wow.
They can
That's
still fit
quite
into their
amazing.
uniforms. Huh?
No, we
No,
will
of
get
course
new
lah, they will
uniforms
have
for
to
them.
get their uniforms
New
tailored.
sizes.
We will get new uniforms. Then, after that, I have another 13 ep drama, Kranamu Hadijah. So,
Oh, just now you mentioned Zoom.
Zoom is next year. So,
Oh,
we are
next
still
year.
trying to tie in whichever country that wants to work with us. So, that's the
okay.
thing. Before COVID, I think all tourism boards want to work with us. Post-COVID,
Yeah.
Oh, forgot
suddenly,
already.
I think it's really budget is really tight and market's not spending.
No, lah, probably they feel that the relevance not there anymore. Zoom, right? It used to be a hot topic, but now it's
Also because like
hackneyed
there's
and
so
everybody
many YouTube
tired of it.
channels with
But then again, it's a travel series that really promotes the tourism of that particular one country.
correct. Yeah.
So that's really a good opportunity for the tourism board to just like,
How many seasons already?
Okay lah, I be your AP, okay?
well, 5. We have
5,
5. Yeah.
Okay. They should have us lah as a host.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. Because I'll do all those like hiking and whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
just don't ask me to jump off from the plane.
We will ask you to do anything on Zoom.
All right.
Okay, we got to wrap up a bit. Aspiring media professionals, any advice for them? Like, don't come in at all.
Yes, you have to persevere and be resilient in whatever you do. Rejection is always part and parcel of life in production. You'll always face rejection, but no, just move on. You need to overcome that. Take every challenge as a stepping stone towards working something better.
Correct. It's a way to improve yourself.
Yeah, it's a way to improve yourself. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming over.
Yeah,
Good that you have
thank
all your
you, thank
projects
you.
lined up.
Yes, for this year.
Yes,
We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, for more to come. And perhaps, in the future, collaboration too with Muse.
Thank you. Yes, inshallah I will.
Yeah. So that's all for today. We'll see you again with the next interesting individual. Stay tuned.